the flowers will bloom in the rain. There's power to harness and handling all of your pain. See all these troubles that we all go through. Dwell on the struggle and you're stuck like glue. Just close your eyes, visualize blue skies, those stormy nights. Failure is needed to grow, one step at a time, girl, take it slow. I have days where I wanna be alone. I have days where I don't pick up the phone. Seasons change, they change. We all have those days. I have days where I'm on cloud nine. I have days where the stars align. Seasons change, they change. We all have those days. Listen, yeah, seasons change and the world still turns. Turn that page, there's your lesson learned. Look, life's a blur, if you blink and you'll miss it. So make the most of your visit and feel it in your spirit. Just close your eyes and imagine.
Hello, welcome back to Ship to Shore. I am Siobhan from Parkers of the Go, if you are not familiar. And today we have a very special guest. We have Miss Sara Joray from Royal Caribbean. And I'm pretty excited about this because if you guys do not know, I am a super huge Royal Caribbean fan. I am a fan of the big ships. I say all the time, I am a big ship girl. And Royal Caribbean provides all the fun of a big ship. So I know we took a little break from Ship to Shore. So for all of you guys joining, thank you for being here and welcome back. And I don't think we could have come back any bigger than the world's largest everything, Royal Caribbean. So let's see who is here. I'll just say hello really quickly and then we'll bring Sara up because we want to enjoy this whole hour with her. Okay, we want to enjoy this whole hour with her. So first we have Will G. Hey Will, how are you? Thank you for being here. Morning, evening, afternoon. I don't know what time it is, but welcome in. Thank you for being here. And then we have Sid with C. Hey C, thank you for being here and thank you for being an amazing supporter. And we appreciate you showing up this weekend. That was amazing. And I always utilize C whenever she shows up to those things. So thank you for all the help. And then we have MH Family Adventures. Hey, Raquel, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And look, congratulations on all the big things. Thanks for being here, fam. And then we have Monet to the T, Mo to the T to the hey, fam. How are you? Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And she said, no problem. Good to see you this weekend. Thank you, fam. I appreciate it. Good to see you too, as always. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. And I'll speak to you guys as you come in and whenever we get a second. But I want to go ahead and get into what we're here to talk about today. And we're here to talk with Miss Sara about Royal Caribbean and some of the amazing things they are doing. So without further ado, let's bring up Sara. Hey Sara, how are you?
Hey there. Hi everyone.
And welcome to Ship to Shore.
Happy Monday. Thank you, Siobhan. Yeah.
One
One of my favorite trading. Yeah, one of my favorite partners.
Yeah.
Love working with you. She's my big booker. I'm always appreciative of her business and her support for Royal Caribbean. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So I know you're a busy lady, so I want to utilize all the time I can get with you today. Go ahead and tell us about who you are and what you do at Royal Caribbean, and then we're going to jump right into it, get into the questions, and just talk about what's new with Royal.
Awesome. I love that. So as she said, I'm Sara Joray, and I am the strategic account manager for Charbon and Trading Partners. I mostly cover Indiana and Kentucky. I'm in Indiana myself. Charbon just happens to be with a agency that is my client. So it's great. I'm so glad I have her because she's in North Carolina. So, yes. But I love that I'm able to support her even from Indiana. Yeah, so I'm the strategic account manager, and I work with all of the great travel partners that sell our product, and I just help them learn what's new. I help with if there's any issues that come up, just basically there to support them so that they can sell the best product and have all the best information for you guys when booking a Royal Caribbean cruise. The best out there, I think, and I think she's great too. She's a huge supporter, and
I am a huge Royal fan. I don't know if you guys haven't heard me talk about Royal. No, I love Royal and their sister company Celebrity, but we're here to talk about Royal today. We're here to talk about my ship, my girl. Okay, we're going to talk about Star and Icon. We want to talk about all the big players in the game right now because Royal is leading the industry in this whole thing called mega ship. But you're also changing a lot of things too in the way that people vacation. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, the thing about Royal, and this is Sharon can feel confident when she sells a Royal Caribbean product,
Mhm.
that you're getting the best. The travel partners have voted us the best cruise line overall for 22 years. We have a bunch of awards. We've got the best entertainment, best private island. There are at least 10 categories that we excel in almost every year. And I think you can always be assured that when you're going to be on a Royal Caribbean product, whether it would be a ship, and we've got ships of all shapes and sizes. She happens to like the mega ships, and I do too. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. But we have also smaller ships. We've got 7 different um, uh, cruise categories where you can go small, where you're going to be able to go out of ports like in the Northeast to get under those bridges, or go to the Panama Canal, or sail in the Northeast. You can go out of Galveston. You can go out of all the ports in Florida. And so we have a ship for everyone.
Mhm.
But she and I both love the mega ships. And I think some people are intimidated and they worry about that it's just going to be too big. There could be 5 to 7,000 people on these ships,
Yeah.
but I know she will attest to it as well, that you do not feel that way when
It
you're
does
on
not.
the ships.
It does not. It feel I can That's one thing I will say about Icon, because we did the inaugural selling for Icon, and then we did one of the 4 day shakedown cruises. Well, not shakedown, one of the 4 day like preview cruises for Star. And on both of those ships, it was a lot of people, but it never really felt crowded. And that's the one thing I will say that Roy has done well. The promenade is absolutely amazing. Walking into that ship and you just have that awe. I have to like that awe
The
feeling, and you
pearl,
you have to, yeah, you have to take it all in.
yeah,
Yes, and it's like, you take all this in, and then you're trying to figure out what should I do, where should I go, and you want to do everything at one time. And I always tell my clients, don't feel pressured to do it all. These ships are made for you to be able to sail them multiple times and have different experiences every single time.
absolutely. That's such a good point. And I think the way the Oasis class and the Icon class ships are designed, which helps, I think, the flow of the ship, is it's set up in neighborhoods,
Mhm.
and they're designed for specific, um, things that people want to do, like the Thrill Island. That's where you're going to go to get the water slides. You're going to have the flow rider. You'll have the sports court, all that kind of stuff for families and kids. They all congregate in that area based on what they like to do. But you can also go to the chill area, which is, that's calm, 2 pools, swim up bars, things like that. Plenty of space to lounge chairs. Um, my favorite neighborhood is Central Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine too. I
Is
love
it?
Central Park.
Okay.
I
What
absolutely
do
love.
you, yeah, tell me what your experience is there.
So for me, Central Park is the serene part of it, and I am definitely in a age and time where I am. I love the part. I love the music. Music is my favorite, but I love everything. I want to be able to relax. I like taking in the guitar sounds at night when they have like the loud
Yes.
musicians playing. I love the nature part about it. I like feeling like I'm outside and inside of the ship at the same time. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's almost as if it's like a place to relax, like outside of going to the spa, or you can literally sit on your balcony, or if you have like the infinite window and just lower that window. I don't know how many times I can tell you I sat on those balconies and went to sleep. Just
Yeah.
like fell
It's
asleep
so
outside.
peaceful.
It's
Yeah.
peaceful. It's
Yeah.
peaceful. Like even on Star, the last time we were on Star, when we were on Star last, me and my husband, we just sat out there in Central Park and just felt the breeze blowing through, which is crazy to say. I'm on a cruise ship, right? On the inside, and I have this
Yeah.
breeze blowing through, and the trees are just, and I'm just sitting there, just taking it all in, and just like
I
deep
mean,
breath.
it's I'm trying to help them picture. There's 44,000 live plants
Hmm.
in Central Park. And, during the day, it's kind of one of the quieter areas. There's some great restaurants in Central Park as well. There's a champagne bar. Sometimes there's a harpist out there playing. We have our jazz club in Central Park. At night, all of those plants and trees are lit, so it's just gorgeous when you're walking through it, and it's just so serene and calm. And there's other areas on the ship that are serene and calm. So on the icon class, there's the overlook area, which is so awesome, and the solarium on Oasis class, another area that's very calm and subdued. But then, you can go to the Thrill Island. You can also go to Surfside, which is a family neighborhood.
Yes.
All the kids go in there. There's a splash pad, a pool, restaurants. I mean, you see people parking it there, all families. You see the kids falling asleep on the lounge chairs and little sofas, and there's a carousel in there. So there's just something for everybody, I think, on the ship.
And what I think Royal has done very well is the way the neighborhoods are set up is that if you are a family, you can kind of park there all day and not have to worry about it. The kids can play and you can go to the bar, or you can, they can go to the arcade and there's food there. You really could park there all day if you wanted to and not have to worry about not having fun and enjoying the ship. And I love that especially younger kids, they have a place to kind of get away. And kind of be in their own zone. And I absolutely love how like Surfside is good for that. But then again, me and my husband, we got on a carousel the last time we were
yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do have a couple people that came in. So first of all, let's say hello to Ronald Britt with a question. He came in with the big guns. He was like, what can we expect from Perfect Day Mexico? Will it be copy and paste of Perfect Day Coco Cay, or will it be different?
It's going to be the same concept. So it's complementary, like Perfect Day Coco Cay is. So it is going to be the same in that regard. But I don't know if you've seen any of the advertisements or videos or just kind of the promotional stuff. It's opening in 2027. It's at the port of Costa Maya, which is an area that really needed something. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be an amplified Coco Cay. Coco Cay, I don't know. You can't beat it. It's great. It's set up like the neighborhoods, like on the ships. And Perfect Day Mexico will be like that as well. But they're doing some things, because they have a little more space. It's going to have the world's longest lazy river. And on the lazy river, I cannot wait. And there will be spots along the river where you can stop and get a drink. You can float. You can, be entertained. It's just going to be phenomenal, and it's going to have more of that Mexico flavor too. So it's going to be a unique experience. Perfect Day Coco Cay, you can't beat that. But Perfect Day Mexico, I think it's going to be another game changer for that area. And they're going to elevate it a little bit. I'm not going to, so to be honest, they will. I can't imagine how you can get it any better, but it's going to be great. But it's, like I said, the Mexico flair feel is going to be unique, I think, there too.
Yeah, because once they said lazy river, I was already sold, because I was one of those people that, we always see these weird questions on social media, like, hey, if you could put anything you want on a cruise ship, what would it be? And my answer was always lazy river.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, yay, finally.
And since we're talking about the private destinations, I think I need to brag on Royal again about that. Not only are they continuing to invest in ships, obviously, we're getting to get another Icon class ship next summer. They also are investing in land experiences for the guests, which I think some of the other like competitors, have their private islands and whatnot. But we're opening. So we've got the Royal Beach Club, which is opening in December. And that's at the port. That's in Nassau, Paradise Island. And again, another area where I think something was needed. It's going to be a little different business model than the Perfect Days. It is going to be an excursion. But I think a lot of people that go to Nassau now probably go to something where they're paying like Sandals or Atlantis or Margaritaville. They're paying for a day pass. So that's going to be how it's the perfect the Royal Beach Club and Paradise Island is going to be like that. And then we're also going to have another Royal Beach Club opening in Cozumel, which I think is another port area. Yeah, so I think that's going to be, so Royal's just continuing to build the guest experiences, and I think the other benefit is it's only for Royal guests.
Right.
So you're going to be assured that the brand is going to be consistent. You're only going to have Royal guests there on all of those ultimate destinations. So I think that's just, another benefit of just Royal. Just, it's a good brand. It's, consistent. You can always expect when you're going to be a guest on the ship, or when Charbonne books her guests, that you're always going to get a top experience.
Yes. So I know we touched on it just a quick second about how the business model for the beach clubs is going to be just a little bit different, especially with Nassau. And I know a lot of concern just based off of things that happened earlier in the summer was, hey, how are we handling drink packages and all that stuff? Can we touch on that just a little bit about how Royal is going to handle that?
So, as you know, the perfect day, and I said Coco Cay and also Mexico, is complimentary. So when you go on that island, you do not, just like you get on our ship, you don't have to spend another dime. You can if you want to elevate, but everything is, your drink package carries over, your Wi-Fi, there's plenty of complimentary areas, food, and all of that. For the beach clubs, it is going to be considered an excursion, so you'll purchase a day pass in Cruise Planner, and you can either purchase the day pass with a drink package or without. The price is about $150 with the drink package, and of course, Royal has sales all the time. The pricing is dynamic; it's not set. And you can also bundle. So if you're getting the drink package on the ship, you can buy a ticket to Royal Beach Club, a day pass, bundle it, and save on both. So we're trying to make it as affordable as we can for our guests. But I think you'll find it'll be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's right there. I don't know how long it's been since you've been to Nassau, and you saw it being built. Probably. It's right there next to the port. We have our own private tenders that we're building. That's Royal Caribbean. They'll take our guest over to it's like a peninsula. And it's quick. I mean, it's probably a 5-minute ride. Okay. Those will, run for the whole day. So you can go back and forth if you, choose to. But I would imagine if you're going to the Rockies, you're not going to be going back until you have to. So, yeah. So
that's the good thing. The unfortunate thing for me is that we have a group going next month, so we're going to miss it by a hair. Yeah. But that's another reason to book another cruise, maybe for Christmas.
There you go. So. Yeah. Everybody keep that in mind, or even next Christmas. You should be thinking about holidays now, that's for sure.
Yes, for sure. So we also have Big Murph's Life in the chat. So welcome in, Big Murph. Big Murph's first cruise was Star of the Seas.
Oh.
He happened to be on the same sailing we were on. So we kind of helped navigate him a little bit, but he did very well for that to be his first cruise. And the first thing I told him was, it's all downhill from here, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't go back now.
You can't go back. So that's one heck of a first cruise. MH Family Adventure says Central Park is one of my faves, especially Lou's.
Oh, love Lou's. Love Lou's.
But my favorite night is when they have the Earth, Wind, and Fire band playing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a perfect addition to that.
I just saw them this summer in concert.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're touring still.
Kristen is here. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Good afternoon. And then Moni to the T says, definitely consider Royal now because the Parkers on the go, trying to fit in a quick little bop before the holiday.
Do it.
That's what we call our short cruises, quick little bops. So yay. And then we have the Keisha Hustle. Hey, Keisha, how are you? Happy Monday and good to see you as well. And yes, no better way to bring Ship Shore back than to have Royal on with us. So we're pretty excited to have Sarah here today. Let's see here. Let's see. Monet said yes to the lazy river.
And I cannot wait.
Then we have Cruising Life as Is. They were on Star as well. We met them on Star, and they did a back-to-back.
Oh,
Mhm,
good for
mhm.
you guys.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
way to do it.
That's how you do it, right? Let's see here. I want to make sure I got everybody before we continue. Okay, so I think I got everybody. So I guess now let's pivot just a little bit to legend before we get to one of my favorite topics, which is Alaska.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about legend and what are we thinking about legend? Or is it going to be a little bit different than Star Icon, or how's that looking right now?
I think, I'm still waiting to hear like
Okay,
how exactly it's going to go. But I do know that, so when they order these ships, I guess that's what you call it. You place an order. when
right.
they when they when they built Icon and also Star, they didn't have the opportunity to change a whole lot because they were already starting in the build process for Star as Icon, but Legend is going to allow them to make some changes. I don't know what that looks like, and I think we all probably, since we've been on Star and Icon, we have some suggestions maybe.
Yes.
So I think that's yet to be seen, and I'd be happy to come on here and do another
Okay.
live for, and when we know more and when that
Okay.
is coming out. But yes, she's coming out next summer, and she's actually going to start in the Med. Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And she's also coming out earlier, kind of like Star did. They are going to be able to add some additional sailings now to it. So
So, Sarah, I will not be doing my people justice. I think we already know what's going to happen here because they've been on me about this. Okay. And when they heard you were coming, they said you have to ask her the additional sailings. What is happening?
you know what? I know. And it was interesting because they didn't really tell us either.
Right.
So I was hearing from my partners before I was even being told, and I'm like, I don't know anything yet either.
Yeah.
I mean, if we gave people more opportunity to try out Star, and
Yeah.
I think that was a benefit. I think some people, and we gave, if people were on what they thought was the inaugural, they allowed them to change it for free, things like that. So they are going to, they'll do you right. If you want to switch and you want to be on the true inaugural, then you can. So yeah, I mean, I think it threw some people for a loop, but
Yeah.
I think there's a huge benefit because more people were able to get on it, especially for the short sailing on Star.
Yes.
People didn't want to commit to the 7 days; they were
Yeah.
having the opportunity to do a little taste test.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Again, we met someone on the shuttle going to Star, and they were like, "Yeah, this is our first sailing on a cruise ever." But it allowed them to do that because they wanted to try a cruise, they wanted to try a mega ship, and that shorter sailing did allow them to do so. So
yes,
I think that's good, and I also think that's why my favorite ship Wonder is what I'm so happy that she's doing shorter sailings because people are going to get that experience of hey, we're getting on bigger ships and we're going to get to kind of see the feel before we get to the big dogs, right? Like the mega ships. So kudos to Royal for that.
yeah, absolutely. The Wonder's a great ship to have shorts on. So you guys out there in Chevron, if you have anything coming up that you're going to celebrate, it's a great one for celebrations because it's affordable, it's doable. If you got a group, you got a family reunion, you have a bachelor or bachelorette party, it's great for that. Saw a lot of brides and guys on on the Utopia is the one that I went on most recently.
Yes.
Yeah, Wonder's a great ship for that kind of thing, and just if you're new to cruising, it's a
Mhm.
great way to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so we have Big Murph Life is laughing at us because I was picking at him because he did Crown's Edge too. So for his first, yeah,
Oh,
so not only first time on a mega ship, but also first time doing Crown's Edge. And
wow.
he did it back to back twice. So I kudos to him. I was there watching him do that. So
Ooh. Yeah,
uh,
I saw a couple of people's videos of that, and I was like, I don't know if I could do that.
yeah. Brandon did it. I wasn't the one to do that. So he did it. I'm proud of him. He made it through, but he was like, one and done for me. We had Sig the solo cruiser here.
I love
Welcome,
that,
Sig.
Sig.
Sig says, loved Icon and can't wait to do Star. How do I keep people out of my spot over in the Overlook?
I love the Overlook. It is phenomenal. And I love that it's kind of like the solarium is on Oasis
Mhm.
class. Just another area, floor to ceiling windows. There's
Yes.
a espresso bar and a regular bar and those loungers and also like the treehouse things. Like the views there are just amazing.
And perfect for quiet sailways too.
Yes.
Quiet sailways because maybe you don't want the music and the dancing. Maybe you just want a nice cocktail,
Hmm.
from the bar and just sit down and relax or the rye and bean, the coffee cocktails, and then you can just sit and
Yes.
relax and watch that nice sailaway. So love, love, love Overlook for that.
Yeah.
Big Murph said regarding the beach club, what will the food options look like? Will it be similar to Perfect Day Cup of Cane, or will they include elevated dining options?
There won't be elevated dining necessarily. Well, like on Coco Cay, for example, you could do like the Coco Beach Club, and of course
Mhm.
you'll have elevated food in there,
Right.
and it's exclusive, and you can do cabanas and all that. For Royal Beach Club, I love this too about Royal. They built the beach club in collaboration with the Bahamian government, so it
Mhm.
has a real good Bahamian feel. They're going to employ Bahamians. They have a marketplace there. You know how they have the markets in Nassau.
Yeah.
They're going to the residents will have a marketplace in there. The food's going to have a Bahamian slant to it as well. I think it's going to be unique. I think it's going to be great, and it's also limited capacity. So
Mhm.
book early, but it also will allow. Coco Cay probably has a limit, but you can get 2 mega ships in there
Yes.
and they control that. Whereas the beach club, you got to get your ticket and buy, but it'll keep it also from being like too many people.
Right.
Yeah. So
Nice.
good question.
Yeah. Cruising Life as is said they'll be back on Star on New Year's Eve. So they've already
Oh,
done a back to back
wow.
and now they're going back. I'm telling
Lucky.
you, very lucky.
What a great time to be on a ship at the holidays. Yeah,
Mhm.
we decorate all of our ships for the holidays. What an awesome time to be on. That's great. Lucky
Yeah.
you.
Yes, me, Sig, and then our other friend from Team Reach Travels, we have a podcast called Cruise Kibbits, and we did Wonder, on like one of the 3-day sailings on Wonder for Christmas. And oh my gosh, I'm already a Christmas girl anyway. So
Me too.
once I saw the trees and stuff, I was like, you know what? I need to start selling for more holidays.
Yeah, start booking now.
uh,
Definitely.
Regina Davis is here. Hello, Regina. Thank you for being here. And if you have any questions for Sarah, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'll try to get them answered as soon as we can. She said, I definitely need a 7-day on Star or Icon.
Yes, you do.
You definitely need a 7-day. Let's see here. Make sure I get everybody. And then Will G is saying good morning. Good morning, Will. Oh, I think it jumped. I think it jumped. Let me make sure I get everybody. So while I look through the comments, I think we got it. Okay, here we go. Regina said, yes, I'm really glad Wonder has shorter sailings. Got one planned for next year. Yes.
Yeah, she's a great ship. Yeah,
Mhm.
great ship for families. Um, yeah, the Oasis class, you can't beat it. Yeah, it's a great ship.
It's a great ship. So let's touch a little bit on Alaska. And let's talk about not just Alaska, but the cruise tours. And I don't think many people talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah, and so I'm glad you brought that up because I just got back. So Royal Caribbean takes employees on fam trips, and that was one of the products that they wanted us to learn more about. So, and I think some travel partners, or I think just not knowing to advise their guests that Alaskan cruises, you guys, are phenomenal. They're beautiful. 7-day Alaskan cruise, you're going to see the coastline, you're going to see glaciers, beautiful inside passage, possibly. But if you really truly, it depends on why are you going to Alaska? I think you ask yourself that, or Sharon, you guys can explore, what is it that you're wanting to do? For a lot of people, it is a bucket list trip. You're only going to go once. So you really want to make sure you maximize your experience when you're in Alaska. You're going all that way. It's far. I mean, I could have flown to London by the time I got to set foot in Alaska. But we did the cruise tour, the tour portion, not the cruise. We started in the north and made our way south. So, flew into Fairbanks, did all of that, stayed in our local lodges. We actually did what you guests will do. And so we started, did I say Fairbanks? We started in Anchorage. Anchorage or Fairbanks? Oh my gosh, now I'm getting confused. But I think we started in the north. Is that Anchorage? Wherever. Yes, started in the north, went south. We went to Denali, which is, I think, what everybody thinks of as Alaska is the Denali National Park. That's where you're going to see the parts of Alaska that you won't see on a cruise. You're going to see bear, moose, caribou, possibly Dall sheep, just all of the big five animals that are in Denali, in addition to the potential to maybe hit and see the actual Denali, which we did not. It's called the 30%er Club, and I wasn't in it. But then we made our way down to Talkeetna, which is another cute little, that's kind of like the climbing town. The climbers go in and out of there when they're climbing Denali. Adorable little town. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Northern Exposure. It's an older, it mirrored after Talkeetna. We stay in a beautiful, adorable lodge there in the local. And the thing that Royal does is they stay in local lodges. So it's not like some of the cruise lines have their own stuff. Royal partners with local lodges and people that own them, and we actually stay in, like, we were just across the street from Talkeetna, the actual little town, could walk there. We had a tour guide. It was everything. I never touched my luggage once. We had the same guide and we had the same motor coach driver for the whole time, which is always, all our cruise tours are like that. And just made our way south. And I think, you don't, if you are going to Alaska, you're going all that way, you want to try to maximize your time there. And if you can at all get a couple of extra days, or even better, more than that, there are 12 different tours you can choose from. Different, you can do them before or after your cruise. There's benefits to both. So I think it's just one of those things that you should always be considering. So now if you book with Charbonne, she's going to ask you these questions. So about it. I should probably also mention too the special offer that we have going on for cruise tours. I think Charbonne's going to show you a flyer. So another great thing is we've got one of our Quantum class ships in Alaska next summer for the next season. And it's Ovation of the Seas. It's a really great family ship. And she'll be amplified in between now and then. So you're getting almost a brand new updated ship. You're getting really a family ship. It's great for Alaska. A lot of inside, areas that you can go and enjoy for families. But if you book, I'm looking at the dates here. If you book between, September 15th through October 15th, sailing on if you're sailing and you book the tour, you will have the opportunity to have up to $250 in onboard credit, which is huge. That's a pretty good amount of money. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree. Yes, especially with Alaska tours, like some of the excursions, they can lean a little pricey. So $250 can definitely help that.
Yeah, definitely. You can buy your drink package with that. You can do specialty dining. Really, it's an open-ended opportunity when you use an onboard credit. So if you book a suite or a balcony, which I would say a lot of people do for Alaska, so you have those views, you'll get the $250. If you're doing ocean view and interior, you'll get a $100 onboard credit. That's still pretty good, though.
That is good. Regina said, "Ooh, seeing Alaska from the North Star."
Yes, exactly. Yes, you know that ship. Look at her. Yes, that would be incredible. Yes, the views.
Yeah, so we're definitely taking bookings for Alaska if anybody is interested, especially like Regina said, Ovation of the Seas and that North Star. I think that would be an amazing, amazing thing to do, and especially with the tour options, because you do get to see more than just where the ship's port. So, if you have a little extra time, why not look into the shore option as well? And you definitely want that balcony because You want to be able to just walk out of your, get out of bed, walk out and just see what is out there without having to go to the outside and, the top of the ship. Have your coffee delivered and just go out on your balcony and
There you
see the
go.
glaciers. Yeah, that's how you do
Yeah,
it.
got it right. So are
Yeah.
you planning Alaska, Charbon, yourself?
I have been, and we have been for. We have supposed to be doing Alaska twice. Last year, unfortunately, we had a family. Well, this year we were supposed to go for my birthday. I had a family emergency, so we are rebooking Alaska, and I think we may be rebooking it with Royal. I have to lock in some dates and times, but I
Okay.
think this may be the option that we're going to go with.
I think it's a good option. I think
Yes.
all the brands do a good job, but
Yes.
Royal, I think, is really, they're trying to elevate, trying to be competitive, and I think you really get a really good experience with Royal because I think it's more localized. It's more, you get the flavor of the interior and the people. You meet like you meet the owners of these lodges, and they love Royal Caribbean, and they have stories to tell. The lodge we stayed in, Pike's Waterfront Lodge, and he calls it perfect day at Alaska. I mean, he's working, even though it's independently owned. They're truly, partners with us.
Nice.
So you get a really good experience.
I love that perfect day Alaska. I mean, we just might as well have a perfect day everywhere we go. So Alaska, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice. So if you guys have any questions that you have about Royal for Sarah, go ahead and feel free to drop them in the chat. We have about 20 minutes left with her, and we want to definitely utilize her because her time is very precious and valuable. So all the questions that you guys ask us on live stream, go ahead and drop them in. Sarah, what does the future look like for Royal right now that you can speak about? What does it look like?
Yeah. As long as I've been with the company, I can tell just that they invest in the future, their guests, their experiences, and I can tell you that's not going to stop. So kind of exciting. It's not been announced, but I have heard. So you're hearing it first. It's not out there yet, but the next class of ships, we're gonna go smaller. It's
Yes.
gonna be a
Okay.
smaller class.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up because listen, okay, so this is the theory that it's not just a theory. This is what we've been all saying, right? We love the Icon class ships. We love the Oasis class ships. But we can't get into the little tiny ports that we want to be able to get into.
Yeah.
So we all have been saying, why doesn't Royal do newer, smaller ships?
And they do need it. I mean, we've got the smaller ships, we've got the
Yeah.
Vision class, and they are older. And I think they get to a certain point, technology and all the stuff, you can only amplify something so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another reason why they're doing that as well. So it's going to be smaller ships. I'm guessing they'll probably retire some. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have brand new ships in the market that are smaller. And like you said, doing these itineraries that the larger mega ships can't do.
So are we discovering some things here?
Something like that. Yeah.
Love it. Love
More to
it.
come on that. So maybe this can be a regular thing with Charbon, and I can keep you updated when new things come up.
Absolutely.
But there's going to be another Icon class ship out there. I've heard rumors about what that might be named.
Always getting puppies on all the Icon class ships.
Yes,
Love a good
always going to have a chief dog officer. My favorite, definitely.
Love a good puppy.
Yes.
They know when I go into ports, and Brandon was like, "Don't pet that dog. You don't know that dog. It's a puppy. I have to pet it."
Oh, Sailor is just gorgeous.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think she was a little worn out when I saw her.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because I got to meet Rover. I did not get to meet Sailor. So I'm gonna have to
Okay.
get back on Star so I can get to meet Sailor. But
I think because she's a puppy, they were kind of trying to, like I said, I saw her, it was kind of late at night, it was after a show, and she just seemed like she was pooped out.
Yeah.
I did get to meet Rover as well. They're just so sweet. And yes, they'll always be a feature on Icon class ships.
Nice.
So great.
So are we looking at any type of, do you know? So now we're just asking the want to know questions here until
Okay.
somebody drops one in the chat. Do you know if we're looking at expanding into maybe different types of ports and experiences as far as like excursion goes, or maybe a port that we haven't seen before? Because we all miss Labadee and we know and we understand, right? But we want some more experiences. So what does that look like for Royal?
Yeah, and I think I don't know that I'm aware of any new ports necessarily, but I think there's always that thought and conversation to be
Mhm.
had. And in fact, I heard it when I was on Star with the other with travel partners, just about people have done the Caribbean, they want something different. I think Royal I think when you're on like these mega ships, though, they're like a destination in
They
itself.
are. They
I don't
are.
even know if you need to get off. There's just so much to do, and you can't even do it in 7 days. But I can tell you that if it would work, they'll do it. And I know they're all constantly exploring, and I think that's pretty evident with what they're all the things that they're developing for the guests. So I think they'll do whatever they need to create new experiences and opportunities for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. And that's the other thing I also appreciate is that Royal does listen and they do, try to implement, concerns that are coming not only from the travel partners but from people who are sailing with Royal. Because I mean, let's be honest, without them, there is no Royal. So we definitely have to take into consideration, what we want as people want as a public. So I appreciate that for Royal. I'll take, this is just a personal request. If anybody want to throw me a couple of more casino offers, I'll
Yeah.
take some of those. I'm just saying, sir, I don't know if you have any magic dust over there you can sprinkle my way, but probably the casino department say, hey, your girl says she needs some more offers over here. But the casino program, and I know that may not be your purview, but I have to tackle it, right? It's amazing. It's one of the like cut and dry casino. Like I know what I'm looking at. I know what to expect, and I know how to get there. And there's not any question about it. And I do love that.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I mean, I did do the casino. I love to gamble. I didn't get any offers, but I heard people that like they were like, I barely played and I got an offer. So I don't know, really, honestly, it is kind of a separate
Hmm.
program, which obviously I don't support in any way, but I do know, we have meetings with them occasionally. They
Yes,
kind of give us information. So yeah, it's a great program. I think it's one of those, yeah, most definitely.
for sure.
Keeping that in mind.
Big Murph wants to know, is Royal considering placing an Icon class ship on the West Coast?
I don't know about that. I
Mhm.
do know, though, that if you're talking about a different port, Galveston might be an area where we might get an Icon class ship. They did build a new port there, so that
Yes.
it could accommodate an Icon class ship. So Galveston might be an area where they would consider putting an Icon class ship. I haven't heard any talk about getting one on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Love that because I do. We've sailed out of Galveston once,
Okay.
and definitely I could see. I think when we sailed out of Galveston, I saw when they first started building there. So we weren't there once it was completed, but when it was started, we were there. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. And Galveston has a lot to offer. So definitely it's a good place for, cruisers and easy access for people that is on the Gulf Coast. So love
Yeah,
that.
so
Love
it'll be interesting to see when Legend comes.
that.
Maybe that's when they may try to, move
Move some
some
stuff
Icon class
around.
ships around possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
good
do
question.
have a question though about the positioning of icon class ships because our concern was Star, right? Because when they moved Wonder to Port Canaveral and we were on one of those sailings, we were like, oh my gosh, is Port Canaveral going to be able to handle this ship? Are they going to be able to handle it? But I think it flushed out pretty well. I think they
Did.
managed it
I
pretty
would
well.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So,
when it comes to figuring out where to put these ships, I know it's a whole like logistical team behind that, but you know, definitely Miami is definitely going to be always the first place you're going to look because of just the canal and how wide and accessible it is. But looking at some of these different ports also gives people who, I get a lot of clients that they don't want to fly right now. So,
Hmm.
being able to cruise out of Galveston may be the option for them, and they can experience that different class of ship. I think that's, kudos and Royal for
Yeah, I think it'll be a game changer for the area. I know my team members that are in Texas they're rooting for it. They want it so bad. Yeah.
that.
So yeah.
Kristen said, I would love to see a closed Lido deck or maybe something retractable to split the difference, speaking from wanting a more cohesive sail away party.
Oh.
So I think on the Icon class ships, the sail away party, I think was more or less because of the way of the deck, the ship is designed, and you
Hmm.
have the opening in the middle for for everything, and you can go down the sit down the central part. I think a lot of people were just talking about the difference in between the sail away party as you would see maybe on Wonder versus you would see on Icon. So
Okay.
yeah, so the more cohesive all together party than feeling like you're on separate parts of the ship for the sailway party.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, a retractable roof, it gives you,
Yeah, that's a thought.
you can still be outside. So
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kristen. Yeah, so that's one thing Brandon and I also brought up. Because no matter where you are on the ship, you can hear the music. So we saw people in different pockets having their own little sail away parties. And we were like, that's
I
kind of
love
cool.
it.
You're still a part of the party, but you have the people line dancing over here, you have the party over here, you have people in this corner, and people still seem to enjoy it without everybody being, all in one spot. So
Right. Or like you said, you can go to Overlook or Solarium
mhm,
or
yeah,
something
have
like
that
that.
peaceful sail
Yeah.
away.
Hideaway or, there's so many options.
There's so many options. So on this ship, I know what I guess this is just more of a personal preference question. Your favorite ship?
I'm so easily like
Me too.
entertained that these
Me too.
the newer the better. I'm kind of like where you are. I've been on other ships. I've toured lots of ships. I will have to say though that a lot of guests that I've spoken to, or even my travel partners, there's a class for everyone. People love like the Freedom class.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're
Yeah.
familiar with
Yes.
Freedom of the Sea. People love that, and that's also another. It's probably a little bit more reasonably priced. Really easy to get groups on those ships as well. But I think people love Independence of the
Mhm.
Seas. Everybody, I don't. There's a ship out there for everybody, like I said, and I think that's really true. Some people just don't want to do the mega ships. They
Yep.
don't. Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily for everyone. I think everyone should at least try it. Maybe start on Utopia, start short, maybe, and you're not committed to too much, and see if you enjoy it or not, and just to experience it.
Love this question from Castawaygos. They said, would Royal ever think about creating an adults only ship?
I don't think so because we are a family brand. I mean, you have
Mhm.
to admit, there are cruise lines obviously that have adult only ships, and people
Yes.
love them. I think what Royal they're trying to get the best of both worlds is they have adult only areas on the ship and on like Coco Cay, 18 and over for Hideaway, for example, or Solarium on Oasis classes 18 and over. So they give you the opportunity to get away. And I think, like we were just saying, designed in the neighborhood style, you can get away. Like you don't have to always be in the chill island or the thrill
Right.
island or the, whatever, the Aquadome or, all the different neighborhoods. There's an opportunity for everyone, but there are adult onlys as well.
Yes.
I don't think so. I've not ever heard that they are considering that.
Good
Good
question.
question. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Welcome in on the Go with Yellow. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here in despite of your meetings. We appreciate you. And Cruising Life as Is said, we enjoy the Mariner of the Sea.
Yes. Mariner's a good one too. I'm actually going to do some ship tours on Mariner in
Yeah,
November.
I think we've
Yeah.
done Mariner two or three times now. We've done her a few times. So
Okay.
love Mariner.
Yes.
Um, so my personal thing, and I guess if I'm going to sell I push this to people a lot, and people look at me like I'm crazy, but I love the fall foliage So
Hmm.
I'm good for North American sailing. Brandon and I did Enchantment. I think it was like an 8-day sailing
Okay.
a few
Yeah,
years ago.
people love that one too.
I love it, and it gives you kind of the best of both worlds because you're still here, but you get to see parts of maybe North America that you probably wouldn't think about
Yeah.
going to, and you go to these little small quaint towns, and you get to see the leaves changing and all that stuff. So, I love that sailing. I do think you can tell them. If they bring some Discovery class ships, put one in Baltimore so we can go and do some of those fall foliage.
I'm almost sure that they will.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be great for that area. Yeah, we've got some really good itineraries going out of Baltimore and the
yes,
Northeast, Canada. Yeah,
love
so
that.
yeah, it doesn't have to always be Caribbean. We
Yeah,
do Europe. Of course, we talked about Alaska. We do Caribbean the best. We've got 22 ships there right now, which is quite a bit.
yes.
But we've got ships all over the world, Asia. I mean, so we got plenty of options and opportunities.
So let's see. Big Merc said they need a GPS in the app that can lead you to the location you're trying to get to on the ship. As a new cruiser, I was lost 90% of the time. Maybe she can mention that to their tech team.
That's a good idea. I mean, I
It
can't
is.
believe that they haven't considered it.
You are here map. Like if I need to find my cabin, I should be able to just touch a button and it'll tell me the best route to
Yes,
get to my cabin.
yes,
Because Murph was lost a lot. He was like, I got lost going to my cabin. That's a good
yeah,
idea, Murph.
yeah. No, I love that. Those ships are pretty high tech, so I don't know how difficult it would be to implement. But yeah, like the elevator system on those ships is incredible.
Yes,
Yeah, it's amazing. And I don't know if you felt like on Star as well, how you when you get back on the ship after Coco Cay or at a port, you can go up those escalators, which
yes,
keeps the flow going. That was
yes.
amazing.
That is
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, because it's definitely that's always the bottleneck. Everybody's trying to get up the elevators.
yeah,
So, if you can find one, great. But hey, let's go over to the escalators and just get back to the promenade.
that was a
And
smart
then
move.
wayfinders, yeah, because then you can kind of just space yourself out. And maybe people don't want to go directly to their cabin. Maybe they want to
Right.
stop for a coffee on the way or get a slice of pizza. It's really smart. It's really smart. I
Yeah,
love
they did a good job with that. I was really pleased. That I was such a huge game changer as well. But
it.
yeah, take everybody up to the promenade because there's so much to do there too. That's
Yeah.
another great area of the ship with the dueling pianos, which
Oh
I
yeah.
loved that.
Mhm.
Karaoke's there, adult comedy, we did that as well. That's always fun. And lots of bars and restaurants too,
Yeah.
shopping. Yeah.
The only reason why I really picked out the escalator is because it just took me straight to casino.
We would be dangerous together on a
Yeah,
ship.
right.
Yeah. Take a wild guess. Yeah, I had fun
You
there
can
too.
figure it out. They took the escalator. Where did it go?
Where does that go?
Regina and Yellow said they both enjoy Mariner. I love Mariner. She was our first ship and with Royal, and we love her. She's
Good. Yeah.
yes. Let's see. And Yellow says, yes, I did that with my brother and his wife on Serenade. Wonderful. Always call it the fall foliage cruises, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The Northeast.
yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Let's see here. Six said, I don't know if it has been asked, but would Royal consider hosted meetups for solo cruisers if they haven't started this already?
They, I'm not aware of any meetups that they're doing. Charvon could actually put together a group if you wanted to do that. But they do offer discounted pricing for solo, which is helpful. You don't have to pay for the double. It's like a whatever booking a fare and a half, so
Mm,
1.5 times the fare. So you're not paying for a double.
right.
So maybe that's an idea, Chevron. You get a group cruise together for solo cruisers.
Yeah, I've been doing solo ladies,
Okay.
and that's been fun. So yeah, so Sig does a very good amount of solo cruises. So as in her
Okay.
name. Oh yeah, as in her name. Kristen says the escalators are a very nice touch.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, why didn't they think about this before? You
Right.
know, until you do it, you're like, genius. Yeah.
And like leaving the ship, why is it so beautiful? Who decided to make it a beautiful area to get off of the ship? That was like, that's a game changer in itself. Because usually like you're going into the dungeon to get off the ship, but it's so pretty.
Yeah. Every experience, we're trying to maximize it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's like you literally thought of every single thing.
Yes.
This probably has been asked, but will when will discovery ships be ready, and what size will they be?
I am not exactly sure. I've seen, and I don't even know, I haven't been privy to any plans beyond 2027. So it's got to obviously be beyond that. But Charvon will be first to know too. I'm sure we'll put out, emails and, advertisements about all of that once it is ready to be disclosed. So yeah, just know that it's coming, and she's your go-to person. I'm hers, and she's yours, and I keep everybody as informed as I can.
Absolutely. And of course, I'll do something special since Royal has so many great offers right now, especially on the two we've talked about today. I don't think we touched on the other one, but we definitely talked about the Alaska cruise tours. So with that one, if you book one of these cruise tours with me, then I will also give you a bonus $50 onboard credit just from me to you as a thank you. And then also we're going to talk about the current sale right now that's going on is the 60% off the second guest, and kids sell free, which we love that Royal is doing that, because a lot of cruise line is just like, hey, kids are going to pay the same price as adults. So the kids sell free is an amazing perk, and I'll throw $50 on that one too. How about that?
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah.
You guys, Didn't hurt a call. Now.
Yes, please book now. So that's definitely something that I want to throw out there for anybody who is interested. And you guys always know how to get at me. You can email me, pltgtravel@gmail.com or parkersonthego16@gmail.com. Those are our two emails that you can reach out to us from. And I think we'll go with this one last question from Castaway Goes. And we'll let Sarah go because I know she has a very busy day. Castaway Goes want to know, has Royal thought about trying to increase overnight stays at some of their regular ports?
Not that I'm aware of. I've heard people talk about that, and I am not aware that they are planning to do that. But again, as things change and if things come up, I'll be sure to let Charvon know that. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And and even longer stays in the ports. I know that all comes into logistics, but even longer stays at ports. Because some of my favorite sailaways have been when we were Wonder, and we did the night sail away from Port San Juan. Love those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, love those. So those are like good sailaways and
unique.
Just kind of getting to relax and watch the ship walk.
Yeah, I love that.
So. Yeah. So, well, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate
of course.
Here and joining us today. If you guys have any questions for Sarah, feel free to email them to me. I will get them over to her, and we'll try to get them answered. Hopefully, she'll join us again. We hope.
I would love to. Please invite me back.
Absolutely, we would love to have you again. And before I'd just like to tell people, because some people just go away. Stay on for just a second when I log off. But thank you guys. We will see you on the next Ship to Shore. This was a great
Thanks, everyone. It was nice meeting you.
Absolutely. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, sounds good.